So this is what Deku was Deadpool Part 3. So our last left off where Deku was getting ready for the sports festival after the whole entire USJ event. So let's get started. So Deku goes to, U the next day for the sports festival. So they get started and everybody gets ready. So Deku lost all of his weapons, his teleportation belt, his electric batons, some of his katanas, and some of his rubber bullet guns. And a couple of his pocket knives and shurikens that are all, dialed down so Deku, doesn't kill anybody. So they get started, and Deku pretty much goes to, school. So they get ready, they get in their hero costumes. They're getting their sports costumes. Now, Deku's sports costume is basically just his normal suit, but covered up with the UA sports shirt. The UA sports suit shirt that's cut down, not the wear the pants. So Deku's just wearing the shirt. Now they get ready, and pretty much Deku gets pumped up. So they get started, and they get told that they're doing, an obstacle race. They get ready, and Deku starts. So Deku starts and pretty much passing everybody in the ring, going left and right. Deku does block the ice before everybody else gets stopped in the ice, and Deku's running. Now Deku was one of the people that got crushed by that robot by Todoroki, freezing it underneath, Todoroki and Tetsu and Kirishima. Tetsu and Kirishima bust through the robot after they got smushed by it, looking over, seeing that it was blood coming from the end of the robot. Everybody was confused, saying, "What the hell? Did someone just die?" And Deku, they heard, a scratching noise, and a katana burst through the front of the robot where they popped out of, and it was a cut made, and it was slowly opened up by Deku in his bloody suit. But it didn't really, make it out to be bloody because, he was wearing red. Just the white parts on Deku's sports costume was red now because it was bleeding through. So Deku got up saying that, that was pretty easy. Pretty much jumping off of the robot. A little bit, still bruised, but still regenerating slowly. Still regenerating constantly, healing from it pretty fast. So Deku starts running off behind everybody, catching up to Todoroki in the mountain area. Deku's pretty much jumping to pillar, using his teleportation belt to pillar. Now, Deku gets to the mine area, and Deku sees this as a really good opportunity. Now, Deku takes out both of his katanas and pretty much put them together to make type of a shovel type of move, pretty much gathering all these bombs in front of him, more bombs than he did in cannon, jumping over them, using his teleportation belt at the same time, while he touches them for a slight minute, making everybody behind Deku get burst by the pretty much mines. Because Deku did it a lot faster, so everybody that got blown by the mines got pushed back. Now, Deku got teleported to the end. Deku teleported towards the end of the race, and pretty much everybody was all confused. Now, Deku didn't run the rest of the way. Deku just saw the end of it, like from a far distance, and just teleported over there. So Deku teleported near the end of the race, pretty much winning constantly. So the horse win, Deku just went OP as freak and just teleported the whole entire time into the air multiple times. Not really, coming towards anybody. Just teleporting into the, super high in the air constantly, keeping it in the air like floating. So Deku just went OP as freak and didn't, mess with anybody. So yeah, Deku, won pretty fast. Nothing really eventful happened. Todoroki and Bakugo tried to get up to Deku, but they were too, they couldn't get to Deku because he was way too high up. But yeah, pretty much that's what happened for the horse thing. Now the 1v1s, that's what I'm here for. They get started, and pretty much everybody gets ready. So Deku gets his guns, his katanas, his teleportation belt all powered up, and everybody gets ready. So they get started, and Deku walks into the arena after knowing his first thing. Now, before walking into the arena, Deku bumped into Mirako. Now, Deku started flirting with Mirako because he thought she was pretty hot, and pretty much eventually he got his number from Mirako before the first match. Now, Deku looking up in the ring, seeing Mirako with the other teachers looking at Deku with a smirk on her face. So Deku, starts starts getting ready, and Shinso pretty much starts smack talking Deku. Deku being, Deadpool talks back obviously, but does get, out under his control. But pretty much, Deku has a backdrop on this. The tell guy told Deku still about the whole entire, him controlling thing. Now Deku used one of his guns. Pretty much Deku's teleportation belt. Deku modified it after, before the fight with Shinso to constantly shoot Deku with adrenaline in the back by the belt if he was ever, if he, was under any, confrontation or just, just being still for a minute. So Deku being still for that short minute when Deku, was pretty much mind controlled. Deku got snapped out of it instantly, throwing the katana just like Deadpool did in Deadpool 2, straight in Shinso's head. But not the blade hitting him, the bottom of the handle hitting him inside the head, knocking him out. So Deku did pull off that the katana handle throw. So yeah, Deku didn't kill him. He just knocked him out. So Deku ran out there pretty much cheering, and everybody was confused and saying, how much skill does this kid have? He threw a freaking katana at this kid, and he didn't even get cut. Pretty much Deku was, cheering and saying that I won, I won, I won. Pretty much, being a little weirdo. So they get started for the next race. I mean, the next 1v1. Everybody else's 1v1s go the same. Deku doesn't have any extra fights, and Deku goes up against, Karaoke. So they get started, and Deku gets ready. So Deku and Todoroki start fighting, and Todoroki obviously just starts off the whole entire fight with a huge iceberg. Deku dodges it using his teleportation belt to teleport right behind Todoroki, taking out one of his katanas, doing a whole entire Super Smash Bros. Slam right in the back of Todoroki's head, knocking him out cold. I mean, like, just knocking him out. He just falls into the ground with no hesitation, just falls down to the ground with no signs of life other than him just breathing. So yeah, Deku wins obviously really fast. Everybody's confused how fast he won. Now they get to the pretty much Bakugo's fight, and now Zara thinks Deku's teleportation belt is way too OP, so they ask him to take it off for this match. Deku agrees, and pretty much they start. So Deku gets started, pretty much saying that Bakugo, you're gonna lose so bad. Bakugo says, yeah, whatever, nerd, and they start. Deku starts off with the same katana throw he did in the first ring, the same katana throw that Deadpool did in Deadpool 2. So Deku threw the katana, and Bakugo dodged it, grabbing the bottom of the sword, running over to Deku, throwing the katana at Deku, for the katana to stab Deku into the chest. Deku fell into the ground. Everybody looking at Bakugo saying, what the hell did this kid do? And Deku pulled out the knife from his chest, regenerating slowly, and pretty much taking out one of his smoke grenades, throwing it right in Bakugo's face, making it smoking AF. Everybody's, confused. They can't see anything. But out of nowhere, they hear a huge thump, like somebody just threw somebody's head on the concrete type of noise. And the concrete, cleared up, and they saw Bakugo bleeding his head out with Deku over his body, having his foot on his chest. Now, they pretty much rushed Bakugo to the hospital. Bakugo got some, head injuries, but he didn't, his skull didn't crack, he had a huge gash of his flesh, cut off, like, on his forehead. But they were able to, do some surgery to, apply some flesh on top of it, making it, unsewable. So Bakugo didn't get, lifelong scars or anything. So yeah, Bakugo, still lost, but he didn't get, that hurt. And Bakugo didn't get his skull cracked, or Bakugo, didn't have a brain concussion or something, I don't know. So yeah, Bakugo was pretty okay, he didn't, die or anything. So Deku was crowned, first place, and pretty much we get switched to, two companies saying that kid is really something special. And he reminds me of somebody from my old days. Somebody called, a certain Wade. So guys, basically, guys, I forgot to mention this. My first what if, my second what if, pretty much Deku is related to Deadpool. Now, Deku is technically the second, and well, the first Deadpool, but Wade Wilson did exist, and Wade Wilson is Deku's ancestor. So Wade Wilson, pretty much the Wade Wilson that I'm talking about is the Wade Wilson from X-Men Origins. Yep, guys, X-Men Origins Wolverine is Deku's grandfather. Now, X-Men Origins Wolverine's Wade had a child before, he got captured, and he got, experimented on with all these, weird powers and stuff, and his face being stitched up and all that other stuff. Pretty much looking like a freaking mess. Now, Deku, basically, being Deku didn't know about his, grandfather, and now his grandfather comes on his father's side. So, yeah. But pretty much, Deku gets ready, and pretty much they go to school the next day after, the first place, the sports festival, all that other stuff. And they get told by, what their hero name's going to be. Now, Deku picks his hero name and says that it's going to be Deadpool. Because it's a name that the scientist called him when he, got captured in these. He got captured and he got experimented on. So Deku, said my name's going to be Deadpool. So after that, they get told about their internships, and pretty much Deku goes home, getting told by his mom about, 2 internships that he got from a really prestigious, school and company. Deku got an internship by, Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters, X-Men Mansion. Deku was freaking excited at AF, saying, "What I got accepted by X-Men, by the X-Men." Deku's mom said yes. And Deku's dad walked in with, a pretty happy look on his face, saying, "Look, son, you got into the X-Force." Deku says, "Hold up, the X-Force?" Pretty much Deku got the X-Force and the X-Men Mansion, pretty much internships. Now, guys, I will be doing a debate in the comments or my community chat. And so I am starting my community chat, guys. If you want to, reply to my last chat I did, I said, "What do you want to see next, guys?" So I pretty much just did, a random one that I just wanted to do because I got a new Deadpool figure. That if you didn't already see my Marvel update, my Marvel Legends update. So yeah, so pretty much Deku gets ready, and I'm gonna end it off here, guys. Go in the comments and decide what should Deku go to. Should it go to X-Force or Charles Xavier School for Gifted Youngsters? Sorry, guys. See you guys later. Have a blessed day. Bye.